Days, but we're back at it here on All 22 as the Packers unfortunately came off a loss against the Vikings as they get ready for this game against the Bears. What were your overall thoughts watching Packers Vikings last Sunday?
They struggled. They got behind again. Didn't really function as an offense when throwing the ball. Too many mistakes. Battled back to get them into a position, but just ran out of time. But they're going to have to play much better than this to be able to move on throughout the playoffs.
So where we start is, and all these plays I think are earlier because I think so many of these things were kind of a theme throughout the game. Like on this first play, this is it's a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, pretty near midfield. But I think this is something that was indicative, Chew, of what happened to the Packers, giving up 3rd down and giving Sam Darnold all day to throw here.
They did. And if you watch the route where he goes to by Hawkinson, it's an absolute terrible route. It's some sort of fire zone because they're dropping Van Ness into coverage. He's actually holding up Hawkinson. But if you look, and you said it earlier, the amount of time he had to throw the ball based upon this tight end's route, just focus on the tight end. It's just like it takes him forever to get into the route and do anything. Now, eventually, 20's got to make this play because he's got a man-to-man, and we're going to talk about 20 a little while later because he blows another coverage. But when you go up against good teams, you can't give them this long to throw the ball, and if you do, you're going to get torched, and this is exactly what happens.
Yeah, I mean, he's just looking all over the place and then finally finds that zone for TJ Hawkinson. Again, I think that was a theme throughout the course of the day. This is the one positive play I think we have on this, Chew. Just a nice little tight end screen. And I think this is something that the Packers have done well in terms of getting Kraft touches. I'd love to see them get him more touches. But this was just a nice screen play that kind of helped them get in a little bit of rhythm during a field goal drive.
It is. We call this back in the day West-right slot, where you have strength down below to the tight ends. I'd like to see them run the ball a little more with Musgrave back because that is such an advantage. They have to make a decision whether they want to go to nickel or stay big. But it's a good job by Tucker Kraft anticipating him coming across his face, pushing him down the line, finds the little hole. Blockers do a nice job out in front of them. The only thing I would say to the blockers out in front, just run. Don't patty cake. If you see them, they're breaking down their feet way too early. Just run and let the defender miss. That way Tucker Kraft can run. Watch how they patty cake here.
Yeah.
See how they pivot their feet? Just run. Let the defender jump around them, and Kraft is good enough to pick a lane, but the big thing is get Kraft up to full speed. So overall, great play, great call.
All right, the third play, this is a 3rd and goal, ends up being a completion, but this is also something where at times the Packers have struggled. We were hoping that maybe they had kind of solved a lot of these. You're not going to score a touchdown every time you're in the red zone, but little completion. What do you see 3rd and goal from the 9?
It's a good play. It's a man-to-man play. We ran this. It's just simply called double cross. Jaden Reed does a nice job because when you know it's man as those 2 crossing routes up top and down below, Jaden Reed is set in the distance, but his job is to pick the man covering Kraft. My only thing is Jordan Love needs to get the ball to him quicker. He's got to anticipate that. If he gets it to him, Gabe, I'll tell you, run it.
Yep.
He's got to see this. Like right now, that ball should be out, and that way he's got more time to react with that defender. He's a much bigger guy, and he probably scores. So that's just some of the things Jordan did in this game. I thought he regressed. He didn't see the field real well.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't notice that at time, but yeah, if he gets that out, he's got a chance.
See how he throws it too late, and then the sideline becomes a factor? You know? If he gets rid of, I'll tell you when. And he should know this because Musgrave's the read now.
Yeah, I mean, if he's got it here, he's got a lot more room to potentially make that defender miss. And then it's a little behind him. He slows down. He's got no chance against that defender.
That's the difference between a touchdown and not scoring, you know.
So the Packers settled for 3 there. They're up 3-0, and this was a tough one because once again, Darnold's got all day to throw, and he ends up finding a wide open wide receiver.
Yeah, but there's a reason behind it. This is just straight cover 3. All right. So if you look, the 2 outside backers are flats. Cover 3, McKinney's coming up to curl, right? And obviously the other linebackers hook the curl. What's 20's name?
20, his, now I'm blanking on it.
Well, he
It's
probably ain't going to
Bullard,
be
Javon Bullard.
after his game here. But you got to get to the middle of the field, and then you got to ride that guy. Watch how he stays. McKinney comes up, cover 3. You're on the other side of the hash. The ball's in the middle or on the other hash. He has to be on the other hash. That's why this play looks so simple. And McKinney sees it because he comes up and he's like, oh, he's got hooked to curl. He knows no one's there. He tries to peel back. That's not on him. That's on 20, man. You got to get over there. Look at all that data.
Javon Bullard, yes. Javon Bullard is the safety there.
Like, that's not the opposite corner. Cover 3, the other corner has to play the man in front of him.
Yeah,
it's just spacing. That's easy. That's easy. That would have went for 143 yards, let alone 40.
And then and then finally here, Chew, we've got to play for the Packers. This is a key 4th down. They decide to go for it just outside the red zone, and this to me is maybe Jordan. You know, he's working the left side of the field, but he comes back to the middle. Is this the most accurate throw? No, but this is a catch that has to be made in these big games.
This is 1,000% on Jordan. You don't need to look off the safety. The safety's already looked off by his position. Okay, it's a slant, so the undercraft is clearing it out. Once again, Gabe, on a slant, that ball's got to be there right now. Like, watch, I'll tell you when. The safety's already removed. Now, hit him. Way too flipping late. Way too late. Soon as he puts the outside foot down and plants inside, that ball should be gone. He doesn't need to look off the safety. The safety's already looked off.
Yeah, I don't know if he's even, I mean, again, you know more than I do. To me, I don't know if he's just kind of looking over to the left to try to, because the way he kind of loads himself there, Chew, I don't know if he was kind of thinking that he might get something to Romeo, because obviously Romeo's somebody he trusts, but then that's like pre-snap, not understanding what you have in front of you.
I mean, Reed is supposed to, it's a catchable ball, but make it easy. Why are you making it so hard? You look off to the left to move a safety. The safety's already moved. A receiver on a slant wants the ball as soon as he puts that outside foot down. I mean, it still should have been caught, but Jordan's making it way too hard on himself.
Is there anything we can see in this Bears game that's going to make you feel like they're truly prepared to take on? I guess it could be the Eagle. I think it's most likely the Eagles as we sit here on a Friday. It could still potentially be the Rams or the Buccaneers, depending upon outcomes of games. But for all intents and purposes, let's say it's the Eagles. Is there anything you can see this week against the Bears that makes you think, or was this their opportunity to prove that they could go into a place and win on the road?
No, there's still time. I mean, the Bears still considered a good defense. It's just a matter if they quit or not. But this is the stuff you got to clean up. You got to clean up the little things. And you know what? Holmgren always said, once you let the little things slip, then you start letting the big things slip. This is football 101. This is first day of mini camps. Slants are made to be caught quickly to protect the receiver and give them the ability to do things. And when they're giving you the look that you want, without having to look off, that's just simple stuff. So there's time, but they got to clean it up.
All right, we'll be back here next week as we review that Bears tape and get ready for the playoffs on All 22.